ATG fam? It's family day, and I'm showing you how we can jump forever and why. Okay, step back, baby. So we just did our warm-up. We just did 3 sets each, and Alyssa started on the ground, and then she went to a 2-inch elevation, and then she went to a 4-inch elevation. Here you go, baby. Why don't you just give me 5 more per leg on a 4-inch to show?
Okay. You want it backwards this way?
Yeah, that's fine. So this exercise is proven that you can safely do it twice a day for 3 sets per leg. You're actually overloading the eccentric and then using strength on the way up. The key is to never, ever work through pain. This was our warm-up 3 sets, so we already did our warm-up. She's just doing a few reps to show you, and then I'll just show you a few reps. This is advanced ROKP. ROKP means going backwards, which also, look at my big toe. So I don't want you skipping ROKP. I've done 100 miles of ROKP. Alyssa has done a ton of it, so we can just bang out 3 sets and we're ready to go. I start in for my very first set, so I literally just, I just hop on here with no warm-up. This is my warm-up. Boom, perfect control, no pain, using my arms to assist on the way up. Boom, so I just dominate 3 sets each side, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, so we got that out of the way. That was our warm-up, but you should do 3 sets of 2 minutes if you're new to this and you haven't built up your foot muscles yet, okay? All right, now, Alyssa doesn't know what we're doing, so I'm gonna coach her. Baby, you're gonna stand sideways to the camera.
Okay.
Yep, you're gonna put your hands on your hips. This helps encourage the posture to be up. And she's gonna do 20 jumps totally at her own pace with no pain, okay? 20 jumps in a row.
Fast?
Smooth pace.
Like this?
Yep, just like that.
You want to bend more knees?
A little bit more knees and a little bit higher. Yep, you're doing perfect. I don't really count, but let's say 11,
14,
15, 16. Faster, higher,
17,
faster,
18.
higher. No, faster and higher. Good, rest, rest. Good, switch. Now I'm gonna explain what we're doing, okay?
Clearly I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, keep him a little distance. So for advanced athletes, you can use a bar. That's about all you need. Look from a side angle. When we bend the hip, we work the glute, right? People say the glute is the power. This is the part you have to understand for part 1 of this video. These are muscles. They're the biggest muscles in your lower body. These are huge muscles. Very small tendons. Meanwhile, the quads get a little smaller and the calves get even smaller, but the patellar tendons get bigger, and the Achilles tendon is the biggest, strongest tendon in your body, and tendons are stronger than muscles. So you actually have an inverse ratio of power to elasticity. So no matter how strong you get in your hip lifts, you're never going to recreate what Usain Bolt or Michael Jordan are doing because you're completely ignoring your tendons. So we're going to do 3 sets of 20 today. So here from a side, I'm bending knee over toe. That now stimulates that VMO, that teardrop shaped muscle right here, which is the largest muscle in relation to your knee, and it's the most fast twitch of the quads. And when those knees go over your toes, now it stimulates that soleus, that lower calf muscle. So I'm jumping as high as I can and as fast as I can. So it's not like jump rope, because this isn't high, nor is it like this, high as I can. So you're thinking about 2 things at once, and each time my knees are going over my toes. And we'll explain why we're doing this. And you would take a couple minutes to rest. So babies, my 2 babies are coming back out. You can rest another 30 seconds or so.
Me? Thanks.
Yep. So let's look at this. Why would we do this? Well, the greatest knee longevity success story ever is a guy named George Hackenschmidt. He was jumping until his death at age 89, and there's actual pictures of him at age 75 jumping over hurdles like this high. My point is that to the degree that you stop being able to jump, you're heading closer to death. The number 1 cause of death in old people is not cancer or heart disease, it's falling. And there's evidence showing that an effective screening process alone for falling is walking backwards, knees over toes strength. So get your old people walking backwards. I'm not saying they have to jump, but I'm saying they actually probably should jump once a week, 3 sets of 20, no matter, at only a pain-free level. And you can literally prevent your old ones from dying. Here, 20 more, baby.
Okay.
So it's those two thoughts at once. It's as high as you can get and as fast as you can get, which results, to get as high as you can get, you have to go knees over
That
toes.
makes total sense
Yep.
now.
So it's like a mind F. Like you want to go higher, but you want to go faster. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So proud of her. And this is a new mama right here.
That's right.
20 jumps. Your knees were over your toes every rep.
Wow.
Perfect. So what she's doing, she's putting money in the bank, and I'm only talking about doing this once a week. She's putting money in the bank. First, she did a science-based warm-up to actually strengthen and grow your patellar tendon. Now she's doing a workout. So hands on hips would be a level I think anyone can do once a week the rest of your life. Never working through pain and understanding the regression is the ability. The regression is the whole knee ability system is built on dominance of being able to handle this position. And we're going to talk about more. I'll do my set. So this takes my hips out of it. And now I'm just putting money in the bank on Achilles and patellar tendons and soleus and VMOs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Good job, baby.
Whew. Times you could do this, you could also do this at the end of a leg session once a week. Now, before we finish this part though, I've got to understand. Hack, George Ackenschmidt created the exercise where he would hold a medicine ball, go on his toes, and go all the way down. When you go to that full bend, you actually can produce miracles internally in your knees. Doctors have analyzed 164 research papers, found that full bend is not only not safe, it's actually an effective leg strengthener, effectively prevents injury, causes strengthening of the tendons, strengthening of the ligaments, which are what connect shin bone and thigh bone, and even preservation and potentially growth of cartilage. The trick is never to work through pain. That's why we build this. You see it in all my posts. We build this one side at a time. So like for my mom, who's 66, she maintains flat ground ATG split squat on each leg. And it can be cold first thing in the morning, and we can be taken lucky for a walk, and she can go off running at 66. All right, ready for your third set, babe?
Yep.
So this is the end of the session for us. Alyssa, we've done different jumping in the past. She comes from a figure skating background. For people who just want the longevity aspects, this is a simple science-based way to live longer, to protect your knees. Oh yeah, no hands, no hands.
Oh yeah, no
So
wonder
see,
I'm
adding
going
hands would add
much
more.
faster.
That starts getting into sport specific. We're not trying, this is a drill anybody can do. Then I'm gonna show you sport specific. Doing great, baby. I don't know your count.
11.
Good, higher, higher, good. Good job. So proud of you.
20.
So proud of you.
Oh, thanks, baby. Whew.
We might be making another one of these if she keeps jumping like that. All right, hopefully no kids are watching this. All right, so rather than do my third set, I'm gonna go into part 2 of this, right? So part 1 is we're just talking about the fact that maybe jumping is not bad. Unprepared jumping, not understanding that if you are balanced between sides and you can jump, then when you do jump, you're actually producing positive adaptation. Of course, anything could be taken too far. You could start jumping way too much. Just like I do a depth jump, but if I jumped off a skyscraper, I would die. You see what I'm saying? Anything in life could be done too much. It's the dose is the cure. And I'm not using the word cure, that's like a quote. The dose is the cure. Because it was actually, the reason stuff like this fell out of favor is because they were actually healing people after one of the world wars. And they went to court because they were sued for using the word cure. So Big Medical slammed them. They were actually already doing Jefferson curls, full range of motion, They were doing cross bench pullover. They had benches made in their gym like this 100 years ago. And they were fixing people, and people were great, way healthier than they are now. And they got sued because they used the word cure. So I'll never cure anything. I'm just a fitness trainer. I'm just a boring fitness trainer with a cute wife. All right. Part 2 is if you are in a jumping sport. If you're a figure skater, you have a landing leg. Alyssa was told she had irreversible cartilage damage because, I don't remember which one it was, but there was a landing leg.
Left.
Right, her left leg was her landing leg. That doesn't make sense for the human body, just like it doesn't make sense. Derrick Rose's ACL was not a mystery. He only, in his career, go ahead and look at the tape, high school, college, pros, 0 career dunks with a right-left plant. Let's look at the forces. So every time he jumps, boom, there's more pressure on the inside of the ankle, more pressure on the tibialis, then more pressure on the outside of the ankle. And guess what? Only one leg is bending knees over toes. And when he would jump off, now if you're a basketball player, let's say you jump right, left like Michael Jordan did, and then you also jump, so you're going right here, that heel toe on the right. Let's say you're also going off your left leg. It almost balances you out. If you're a right-left jumper, off 2, and a left leg jumper off 1. Unfortunately for Derrick Rose, he only planted through the left leg and then only took off the left leg off 1 foot. So he did a routine hop step. Should have been absorbed here. Had 0 career times of dunking. So all his forces, imagine every layup line, every practice that he goes to throw down a dunk, it's only off that one side. So that means his tibialis muscles built up different, his VMOs built up different, the tendons built up different, and now we have evidence showing that if you have a landing side that's better than the other, or a planting side that's better than the other, 70% more likely to tear a knee ligament. And a study on long jumpers found, like they have their jump leg, right? A study on them found that when they work both sides, for every 1 inch that the single side group gained, the side work, the guys working both in this study, 70% more jump gain on their long jump. So the conclusion of that study was, oh, this should be used in the beginning phases of a jump. Not only is that's just their opinion. Nothing about the evidence said only the beginning. In fact, I would argue that the more advanced an athlete gets, the more you need to become balanced. And long jump world record still stands from the 90s. They can't beat the long jump record. Triple jump world record still stands from the 90s. High jump world record still stands from the 90s. Proof is in the pudding. And guess who got really close? A guy named Christian Taylor almost broke a world record and won a gold medal after thinking he was going to retire because he was so riddled with injuries. His coach and him thought, what if we switch sides? Ended up winning a gold medal, set his PR, almost broke the world record, but now he switched sides. He would have broken the world record right now if he would have realized the gold he had. One leg's a 10, other leg's an 8. Start to bring it up, but then they stop training the other side. Boom, so he had his gain, and he'll probably never touch that again unless he switched back sides. So, the key is to work both sides. I didn't, what did I do differently? Okay, what did I do differently? Went into my 20s, 19-inch vertical, so I was unable to grab the rim. No one's ever gone into their 20s having never grabbed the rim. And now I'm going into my 30s, dunking with 2 hands off all 4 plants, okay? And now that's part of the reason that I'm freakishly healthy, that now I'm heading into my 30s knowing I'm gonna be jumping higher heading into my 40s than I am right now. So I hope this helped. I hope you can see there's two parts to this. There's just the quality of jumping. And every time you're doing this, you're training what your squats and deadlifts and hip thrusts do not. Hip thrust does not make you more elastic. It improves hip thrust, deadlift, squat. Does not make you less likely to get hurt. They make you more likely to get hurt. The better your ankle, the less chance of knee injury. The better your knee, the less chance of back injury. The worse your ankle, the worse your knee, the more chance of back injury. And I've trained hundreds of athletes, and the guys who made the freakish, there's no outliers. The guys who walked in with the craziest ankles and calves then had the easiest time jacking up their squat. And the guys who could jack up their squats with those crazy football-sized VMOs then had no trouble jacking up their Olympic lifts and all this stuff because they were built from the ground up. So they actually had less chance of getting hurt, and they made without question, the fastest gains. And the weak knee, weak ankle guys, they could not make long-term gains because they would get shin splints, they would get knee pains, they would get back. So that's my whole system now rebuilds you so you can actually live what it's like to be a genetic freak. Anybody can be a genetic freak. You have to rebuild from the ground up, and you have to rebuild internally. You have to understand that you're making internal adaptation with stronger tendons, ligaments, even stronger meniscus. Then it's so easy to improve what's outside. So, sorry for the long video, but it's important stuff. See ya.